Hey everyone. Just a quick announcement before we start the episode. I recently set up the RSS feed with Podbean. With that, I'm proud to announce that the SnoopCast is now on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. Come subscribe to the show on the platforms that you use, and you can listen to it anytime, anywhere. Send us some reviews about the show. We'd really like to see what you think of the show so far, and we want to interact with you more. And also continue to support our Patreon so we can do more opportunities like these. Anyways, thanks for your patience and enjoy the episode. Hello everyone and welcome back to the SnoopCast. I'm your host Brucesnoop, and today we are joined by our two co-hosts.
Everybody in here should know my name by now, but I'll introduce myself again. My name is Ian, aka ASAF Get Money over Twitter.
It's like a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah, you could say that. Mrmeatman, who are you?
You just said my name, bro. I can't even introduce myself.
Shit, you're
anymore.
right, okay.
Boy!
What the heck?
So what's up? We're gonna do 2018 media.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've recorded a podcast because a lot of us have had bigger priorities.
We've had lives. Summer was fucking stupid for me, so I couldn't probably do that much over it. So it's like, yeah, let's do this right now.
So, just like I had announced at the beginning of this episode, I finally got this whole thing worked out, and we finally got our RSS feed. So we're finally on Google Play, iTunes, and Spotify, so you can listen to us on there. Subscribe to us on iTunes and all that stuff, and give us some reviews. We actually I want to read them, especially on the podcast. That'd be good.
Any feedback is welcome. Positive, negative, neutral, whatever you
What are you
want.
talking about?
That's
You gotta,
sensuous.
no, hold on. No, that's not right, because if people are criticizing you, then the first thing you have to do is instantly
You gotta
block
block
them.
Yeah.
You have to block them, you have to say mean things about them.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like, we can't have no negative criticism, guys.
Yeah, no,
That's,
you gotta
like,
have a high
horrible.
five.
Bullying.
You gotta claim that you're a victim, and then you can get all the views.
Stop bullying, speak up, people. It's gotta end.
Isn't that the Cartoon Network thing?
Yeah.
Wasn't Michelle Obama part of that? Something?
Wait, what?
I swear, there was like, Michelle Obama was like something. I think it was like Nickelodeon or something.
What the fuck?
Baby.
Let's talk about some 2018 movies that we liked.
What came out in 2018?
Mission Impossible Fallout, I believe, came out.
That was a good movie.
That one's good. Really fucking good, actually. Probably my favorite one. Also Incredibles 2. Really fucking good.
It was alright. Now, the movie that all the soy boys really liked, Avengers Infinity War.
Avengers! I know what Avengers is!
You should have aimed for the head, son.
Yeah, I don't watch much MCU movies, but I was excited for that one because it's like, it's a blockbuster and it's what everyone's gonna watch.
I mean, there was a lot of good movies that came out, so it's like, no matter what, I mean, like, I got some good entertainment out of 2018.
Yeah.
So, you know what's funny, though, is that, like, some of the ones that were probably, like, the most, like, talked about and revered, I thought they were good, but, like, I thought, like, maybe they weren't some of them weren't as good as some people might have let on. Which is, like, if anybody thought, like, alright, well, it's fine if you think that way, but, like, I can't really feel, but, like, say that, gonna drop this bomb on you people. Spider-Verse, only okay. Alright? Because, took me some time to warm up to the character. I didn't really like the animation all that much. It felt really choppy in some areas, and it only looked really good when there was a lot of action going on, like a lot of like sensory overload. Like that's cool. But as far as like an overall movie with like the way the plot was and stuff, I thought it was only average. A lot of people really freaked out about that movie, but I can't feel the same way. It's just me though.
I thought the opening was really good, but then the second act, the lead into the third act was pretty weak, and then although the finale to the third act was pretty good.
I thought like it fell into that kind of like grease hole sink trap where it was basically like it kind of like the movie kind of pauses for a little bit when it doesn't need to, and like there's like that little bit of like emotional turmoil and doubt that's like in like literally like every like fucking animated kids movie ever.
It comes out of nowhere. And it's not brought up previously. That's the big thing. It's not like it comes out of nowhere, so there's no like reason it should happen.
I thought it was weird that, like, during that whole thing, too, it felt as if there were scenes with the other characters that were cut out. Like, I'm not sure why, but, like, parts of, like, the movie felt, like, really incomplete without, like, some of the characters that they introduced, like Spider-Ham and Penny and, like, Noir. And, frankly, I mean, like, me saying that the movie was okay... I'll just say this right now, though, too. I would really love a spin-off series with Spider-Noir. That would be fucking dope.
That would be dope.
Well, they're gonna have more movies.
They're gonna have more movies, but, like, as a series, I think Noir would have, like, his own TV series. I think that would be pretty cool, actually. I know, isn't Gwen getting her own spin-off or something? One of the other Spider-Mans is getting another spin-off. I think it's Gwen. That's, like, in her own movie, I think. But if that's the case, then fair enough.
That's pretty hot.
She's in high school, Mrmeatman.
Yeah, the movie's gonna be hot. She's gotta fight a fire-based villain. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be fire, bro.
It's gonna be fire, boy.
It's gonna be thebomb.com.
Damn, thebomb.com. But what's another movie that you guys have seen that you guys want to talk about?
I don't remember actually. What have I seen? Or what have I seen that I actually want to talk about? Because, yeah, that's the bigger question. I've seen movies. I haven't seen good movies.
I'm not like Ralph Seppe. I don't watch a lot of movies.
What the fuck?
I'll tell you about a good movie that I saw earlier in the year, actually. It was a horror movie. PG-13, but still actually pretty effective. Was a thing called A Quiet Place. I saw it back in April. It was really good. Really good suspense and horror elements like throughout the entire thing. I didn't know what was going to happen next, and I felt it was pretty like on edge for a PG-13 movie. It felt almost borderline R, which is something I think that was a good thing about it. There was also another movie that not many people talked about it or saw, but it had Jack Black in it. That was pretty good. It was called A House with a Clock in Its Walls. I saw it with a friend back in October or November. I think it was October. And that was also really cool. It was basically like if you want like a like a type of movie that is kind of like big on like the whole dark 80s kids movie kind of vibe with like the child main characters not being perfect and like the movie's kind of raunchy or like violent for a PG rating. I mean, go see that one. Get it on Blu-ray, watch it online, get it on DVD, whatever else. That one was fantastic, in my opinion.
Well, actually have a movie to talk about. It's I know you guys aren't very acquainted with history movies, so I'm not very sure. But there's this movie that I saw earlier in the year. Well, I saw it like a couple weeks ago, but it was a movie made early in the year. It was called The Death of Stalin. The Death of Stalin. It was it's basically a movie like a comedy interpretation of the political turmoil after the death of Joseph Stalin in the Soviet Union. It's actually a really funny movie. There's a lot of raunchy humor in that movie. Is there a lot
of like Russians getting murdered by the mass?
Yeah. In fact, in the beginning, there's
funny, man.
No, I think the comedy just stems from like how absurdist it is. Like a lot of the bickering between the generals and the high-ranking officers in the Soviet Union. Like their interactions are pretty funny. It's a really good movie, especially with my history boner, because ever since like from the last episode until now, I've really gotten into history. So like anything with history, like I'm just a big fan of. Like any time period, I'm just, especially if it's a comedy, that like that's what makes it funnier.
I'll go see it. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. The death of Stalin.
Similar note on the topic of history or historical events. There was a movie that I saw, Won't You Be My Neighbor? That was a documentary on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood that was really good. Yeah, that one was fantastic.
I've yet to see that one, but I really want to see it.
It's a great documentary. If you really want like an insight on like Mr. Rogers' life and like some of the background on the show, that some parts you probably didn't even know before, because there were so many episodes that were made like, before like all the stuff that we knew from like the 80s and 90s was probably reran on PBS that wasn't really seen anymore, like between like the 60s and 70s. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good information. They interview a lot of people that used to work on the show. I think it's a fantastic movie. And fun fact, actually, when I saw it in the theater, there were people that were walking out of the theater crying because it was so emotional to them. So, I mean, like, that really, if that doesn't hit home for anybody, I don't know what does.
Is Mr. Rogers dead?
Been dead since, like, 2003.
Meatman actually killed Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, that's why, no, because I didn't kill him, I just beat him up a lot. So, like, that's why I was, like, surprised. Like,
Led to his death.
I thought I stopped hitting him before, like, I hit the cranium,
Just another movie, actually. Solo, Star Wars. I rewatched it a few weeks ago, and it was okay. I didn't really like it as much as like when I first saw it in the theater back in May. Only thing about it is that like it's not bad. It just kind of like drags on a lot, and like I think the reason why like the movie suffered so much, unfortunately, at the box office was due to a few major factors. One, Memorial Day weekend is not a good time to release a movie, and two, people are sick to death of fucking Star Wars thanks to The Last Jedi.
No, it's like, who cares? Like, who cares about Solo of all things? Like, I don't.
Episode 9, though, what are your predictions? Do you have any predictions on Episode 9, actually? Just because that's actually coming out later this year, and I keep forgetting that.
I hope it's like as big of a train wreck as the Last Jedi is. Because you know what, like, you know what,
Star Wars for
no, you know what? In hindsight, I now love the Last Jedi, and I only love it just because everyone else hates it so much. I don't actually love that movie. I love the hate that it spawned. It's people waking up and realizing, hey, wait a minute, this isn't Disney pretty bad.
This Disney era of Star Wars being bad.
Like, people are like really. You know what? Everyone wishes that Star Wars would be good. That's the tragedy. Everyone wants.
I've actually never seen a single Star Wars movie in my life.
Oh,
what
yeah?
the fuck, Bruce?
Yeah, well, what are you on right now, Bruce? What are you on right now? This is the.
What do you mean?
I've
never watched a single
podcast.
Star Wars movie ever in my life.
This is the Star Wars fan podcast.
Dude, I can give you like the files to like the original 3 movies if you want, like over email. Like I can literally do that.
It's just not like I'm not interested in watching Star Wars.
Man, you gotta give the original trilogy at least one shot.
Have you at least played the Lego game? Did you play a Lego game?
Yes, I did play the Lego games.
Okay, good. Then you watch Star Wars.
I mean, I played the game, the Lego game, but I haven't watched the actual
Lego Star Wars,
movies.
the complete
Is it complete saga, man?
I don't remember. It's just some random Star Wars game
Oh
that
my
I got
gosh,
on the DS.
Bruce.
I'm
On the
sorry,
DS?
I'm just not interested in. Yes, bro. I'm
On
just
the
not
DS,
interested in
the
Star
fucking
Wars. Sorry,
DS?
man. Listen, the DS.
I played that shit on the Wii. That was where it's at because you could like twirl the lightsabers around like with the Wii remote. That was the shit.
No, that's lame. You know what the best game was? Playing the original trilogy DS game. Because they went far out and beyond with that one. And then...
I swear.
No, have you played it? Because you don't know what I'm talking about if you haven't. They did the cheap... They cheapified the complete saga. They made it worse than their second game.
I mean,
alright,
like, I've never seen a single Star Wars movie, but I know about stuff like, Darth Vader.
It's a great knowledge there, Bruce.
I know a lot about Star Wars. I mean, I know a lot of the characters like Han Solo and Mace Windu, but I mean that's it.
Mace Windu, the guy that's only ever relevant in like the prequel.
What does that even? Wait, no, hold on, Ian. What does that mean? That's like saying
pod
that's like
racing.
saying, hold on, that's like saying Luke Skywalker's lame because he's only relevant in the first 3 movies.
Hell no, he's like relevant a bit in the sequel trilogy though.
He's relevant in the Clone Wars?
No, what are you talking about? He's relevant in the sequel trilogy, but that doesn't mean like whatever.
Fuck Star Wars.
Fuck Disney Star Wars.
Hey, Disney. Let's talk about I want to talk about Incredibles 2.
You know what? Yeah, sure. Incredibles 2, really good.
Really good. You know, it wasn't as great because I had really high expectations for it, but it's a nice movie.
It's a good movie. It's just that like I think the rewatchability factor isn't as high as the first one to me. Good movie though. Like if anybody wanted a sequel to like one of their favorite like kind of movies for like that was known as Incredibles, I mean like fuck. It's like that's where you should go. The only thing that I didn't care for is like some of the stuff that they. I mean, the whole world is like like a 50s kind of tribute type of superhero based world. Adding in characters that have flaming hairstyles with like fucking neon green or whatever the hell that was, not really the most convenient way to place something in that kind of movie, but hey, what are you gonna do?
It's like it's like when they added the one the whole plot to Monsters University like fell flat on its face because in the original movie they were like, you've been jealous of my looks since the first grade, and in this movie they meet in the college.
Yeah, that whole thing was retarded. I mean, like...
And they were basically like, listen, we're trying to make a good movie here.
Pixar is a very interesting thing, actually, throughout the
Toy
2010s.
Story 4, you guys excited for that?
Why do they have a fork? I don't get it.
Wait, they have a fork? I haven't seen anything from that.
Oh, the spork you mean. The spork dude, I think.
Oh, I don't know what it's called.
I don't know anything about Toy Story 4. I'm not watching that shit.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Pixar has been through a fucking roller coaster throughout this past decade. Some of their movies have been like really high points, and then as soon as that happens, they get to like rock bottom. Like case in point 2015, they have Inside Out come out, and then literally like the same year they have Good Dinosaur premiere. Like, what does that say about like their quality?
I barely saw anything with Good Dinosaur. Everyone's still talking about that. That movie came in 2015. Everyone was still talking about that. Nobody cared about Good Dinosaur.
Well, was it a good movie or a bad movie?
Good Dinosaur was pretty fucking bad, actually.
Well, was it a bad movie or was it just a pointless movie?
I mean, I guess in that regard, you could say pointless. It wasn't like it wasn't like an abomination or anything. It was just really lame.
Abomination.
And it sucks because it's like some of the backgrounds in that movie are really gorgeous, but they're so like off.
Yeah, it's a bit of a culture clash because you have these overly detailed backgrounds and you have these really cartoony type characters that don't mesh well.
It was an experiment gone wrong because like I remember the first trailer for that movie was actually really good. It got people like trying to talk about the movie and stuff. And then the second trailer dropped, and I lost all interest. I thought it would have been good as, like, another type of... I mean, not to say that, like, they should copy themselves, but I think, like, they should have made, like, something more, like, along the lines of WALL-E, where, like, the movie is, like, a little bit more subtle and silent and stuff. But that's not really how the movie goes, unfortunately. I thought it would have fit really well, but that's just how they made it, just didn't work out that way.
I like how Disney it was Pixar that had like a really good peak with Coco, and now they're gonna go straight down with fucking Toy Story 4.
Well, they were riding high a little bit with Coco and Incredibles 2, and now, like, Toy Story 4 just does... I'm sorry to say, but, like, I'm not looking forward to that movie. Unless it really surprises me. I saw the trailer, like, for it, and I didn't really get, like, an ounce of excitement from it, which is really sad, considering, like...
It's a Toy Story movie. You're
Yeah,
supposed
exactly.
to get excited for that.
Exactly.
Well, no, but it wasn't a trailer, it was a teaser.
Teaser trailer, I mean, like, what's the fucking difference? It's still either way, like, Toy Story, like, related news about a new movie. You think it would, like, get people really excited? I mean, like, do you remember how built up Toy Story 3 was? I mean, like...
Well, that was built
that
up...
was huge!
That was built up over the years, and, like...
So is this? I mean, like...
No,
I remember from, like, 2014 I heard, like, about this Toy Story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, Toy Story 3... I mean, like, well, okay, here's the thing. The gap between movies is almost just as big, because they're starting the decade with a Toy Story movie and practically ending it with a Toy Story movie between 2010 to 2019. So, like, that's a 9-year gap right there, and, like, the gap for Toy Story 2 to 3 was, like, 11 years, I believe, between 1999 to 2010. So, that's nearly, like, the same amount of time, and yet not many people are really excited for it, and it's a shame, because it's fucking Toy Story.
I mean, Toy Story... No, 2010 to 2019, like, doesn't feel that long ago. Honestly, I mean, when you hear 1999 and then you hear another one in 2010, like, damn, that's a long time. But when you hear close to the same thing for 2010 to 2019, it does not feel like...
It kind of plays with your head, because it's like, it's a similar gap, but, like, the numbers just kind of throw you off. 9 to 10 or 11 year gap isn't, like, that bad. It's something. It's really, I mean, like... Am I gonna see the movie? I mean, like, it's weird to say, but, like, unless it gets, like, fucking stone cold crazy type of really good reviews, then I'm just not gonna go see it.
Okay.
I'm not in for an average Toy Story movie, because Toy Story is supposed to be, like, the exemplary, like, form of Pixar.
You don't know anything about it. How are you calling it average?
No, just he's going off by, you know, the details in the plot that they released.
Because I'm not really a fan of, like, what it's been released as.
What's the plot they've released so far?
The plot they released so far is that it's a backstory to when Woody met Bo Peep.
Oh, what the fuck? They're bringing her back.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. See, all
Yeah.
I knew is the trailer. Like, fuck it.
Also, can I really just, like, point out that, like, from, like, that new character that they did show off, that I really hope he doesn't appear that much in the movie, because you look at all these character designs that were, like, specifically made for CG animation back in, like, the mid to late 90s, and then you have this fucking spork-looking ass that looks like he's made right out of, like, a movie from, like, 2015, like a short cartoon or some shit. And it just, like, does not clash with the character designs at all.
It does not mesh well.
It doesn't mesh well, is what that's alright, that was my bad. Yeah, it doesn't mesh well. I think the character designs, like, have, like, a really weird contrast to them that, like, it just doesn't fit.
That's actually exactly what I thought. I thought, what? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's not, like, at the very least, why a spork? That's just lame. like,
I don't know, man. They gotta sell toys. They gotta sell fucking sport toys.
You're gonna. Next thing you know, you're gonna see fucking sporks, like, on top of, like, all the toy shelves, like, in Target.
You're gonna see, like, a sex toy.
What's the new name for Toys R Us or whatever again, now that they rebranded or something? They're gonna have, like, the sporks all over that store.
We gotta have the sporks.
Sporks, dude.
What are they doing? Like, how do you rebrand Toys R Us? Like, why would you do that?
I don't know. And I don't know why they rebranded, like, after they went out of business. Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Oh, look, we're back, guys.
Is it because you could just buy everything from Amazon?
Well, they're gonna in the Toy Story movie. They're gonna get all the toys from Amazon instead of Toys R Us or whatever.
Wait, they should
Al's
have done
Toy
that
Barn.
something like that. Or no, that'd be lame.
Yeah.
Well, no, then again, because the toys don't care where they come from. Come on.
Yeah. Instead of coming from a toy store, they come from a warehouse. Well, both will come from a warehouse, but that's regardless.
We're all toys. We're all toys. What the heck?
I would have been really interested if Toy Story 4 was that one where Buzz gets... There was this idea for, I think it was Toy Story 2, where Buzz had to go to Japan because there was like a recall for all the Buzz Lightyear toys.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been so awesome if all the toys went around Japan.
Well, but you know what? You know what? To be fair, though, that sounds like it would just be like a retrend of 2. Where like, oh, one of us is like somewhere else. We have to get him back. And then, because they'd probably have it like, oh, maybe I'll stay in Japan because I like it or something. That's probably what would happen.
But that would have been cool. I think it would sound nice as like one of those like short film. Whatever
If they
it
did,
is.
oh, yeah, actually, that could, like, because the concept's kind of like too big for a short film.
It could be for like one of those like TV specials that they air on like ABC or something. I know they have several one of those specials on. Yeah, ABC
you know what? If
Family.
they did do that as like a 4th movie, definitely not a 3rd movie, but as a 4th movie maybe, or like because that's long enough, kind of, or maybe even a 5th movie.
You know what it would have been like an actually good plot to the 4th movie was that backstory that like what's his name Mike Mozart said about like that one time that he talked about. That would have been like an actually good backstory to something like Toy Story, and that should have been
the audience
something.
what that actual story would have been.
Yeah, all right. It was like it was more or less about like seeing like Woody being like a rare toy, like when that was like actually going on, like back in, I believe it would have been the 50s by then, and like how like it would have followed more of like Andy's dad before he got sick and passed away. I thought that would have been like a really interesting way to
kind of focus more on the Andy's character.
Yeah, I mean, like, not just Andy's character, but, like, Andy's, like, kind of, like, his lineage, his lineage's life, rather than just kind of, like, going for, like, a fucking 180 or whatever, just going somewhere else with, like, just the characters, which, it would have, I don't know, I felt like it would have fit, and, like, it would have provided great emotional resonance with, like, an audience that, probably didn't even know about the story until about a year ago now, or, like, a year and a half ago, like, that, like, really unknown story. Yeah, so like, that would have been, like, a great...
Is that something they were planning to do? Because I still don't know what you're really, like, when was that revealed?
Apologies, because I can't remember like when Mike Mozart revealed it on like what show, but like Mike Mozart
on one of his
about
live shows. He revealed
remember
right.
Andy's toys?
He said, but he. It's weird that he was like friends with like a guy that was that close into Pixar and just happened to remember that story. But like that, I think it's a great story. They should have really kept with that.
So actually, Andy was supposed to be, he's supposed to be,
Be a what, Meatman? I don't know.
What is Andy doing now?
What is Andy doing now? That's stupid.
I mean, he went to college, like...
Getting bitches.
What if Andy said, I'm gonna make toys for a living,
and then he gone to like fucking
he made, like,
deadbeat job.
Toy.
Or he's like,
oh my gosh! What if they had a thing where like the toys want to like meet their creators? Like they say, like, God, you are God, you are our gods, who made us. What if they like brought religion into it? That's all I want. I want a movie that's like really philosophical about like toys, looking like for the people who created them.
The religion of toys. It sounds awesome. That should be like some kind of like weird art film.
There should be like there's a toy cult. Like, a bunch of toys who praise the creator, and then Buzz is like, oh, I don't like this is creeping me out.
Like, what, because, the sex dolls, they worship Adolf Hitler because he was the one that created all the sex dolls for his army.
Was he?
Well, that's what people say, and I'm pretty sure.
It's like what if what if because I was thinking of a scenario. What if like Andy becomes a toy maker and he makes a toy, and then that toy is like later Woody and all, they meet that toy, and then he's like, like the toy system, like who created me, my father, like where is he? I want to meet him.
It's awesome.
My God. It's kind of effed up if you think about it.
Yo, Bruce, how about we get another question?
Wait, actually, let's talk about some music that came out in 2018 that we listened to.
Oh,
you guys
sure,
listen to
sure.
any music?
Yeah, I did. I personally listened to a lot of Firepower, Judas Priest album, really good. I was worried that it wasn't going to be good for a bit, but like once it came out, I listened to it track by track. I'm just like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. One of their best in like nearly fucking like 20 or 30 years now. It seriously kicks ass. I think that's one of my favorite albums from them now. It pretty amazing for like a band that's like nearly 50 years old now too, or practically is 50 years old. And yeah, totally. There's also there's also Saxon album that came out, Thunderbolt, which was really good. That was in 2018. That was a few months. I think it was earlier. I think it was January of 2018, and then like Firepower came out in March. Both are really good. I need to listen to some more albums and some more new albums and stuff though. Get myself into more stuff. I did a lot of stuff in 2018 where I binged a bunch of music and bands and stuff that were like older with a few friends, and got to listen to some new stuff. Some stuff I liked, some stuff I didn't, but overall helped broaden my view, and it was pretty good.
Oh, I listened to one of my favorite albums that came out this year was I'm more of a rap guy. Ian's the heavy metal guy, but I listened to Astroworld by Travis Scott. It's a good album. I mean, it's just the whole production and the whole scale of it was so impressive, and I really liked it because this was teased for like several years. Like people, like all the fans were waiting for this for so long, because Travis Scott was like one of the big talents that it's been around for a couple years, and like his newer albums have been either great or they've been like it's okay. Like Rodeo was really good, but there's some stuff that was like but I liked Astroworld. It was a good album. They had a lot of production behind it, and it was really creative.
That sounds good.
What did you listen to, Meat?
I mean, I didn't listen to anything new from this year. I'm trying to think. Like, I can't really think of anything in particular off the top of my head that I've listened to. Actually, wait, there's one. I think, like, in July, I listened to the Jimmy Neutron theme a few times on loop. It's just as good as I remember it, It's the nostalgia that really brings you back.
But you just listened to the Jimmy Neutron movie soundtrack?
No, the theme song from
the... you just listen to the song? Is there like a full version, or it's just the 30-second
No, the 30-second thing. I just, because I think, I was playing like a game, and I just had that on loop, and I was like, this is still going. This is before I go.
How long you have it on loop for?
Actually, here's a good question. I don't remember. It was like, I don't know, but it was like it was enough time for like me to realize I'm still listening to this, But hey, how about this question? Just this really quick question. What songs would you guys like or just one song? What song would you listen to on loop over and over? What song would you be like? Cause you know how like, how like the military, like one of their torture techniques is they play like, I think they play like children's songs usually, but let's just say any song. They play like songs over and over, and it's supposed to like drive the people mad. It's like, they keep listening to it over and over and over.
Like, what if the U.S.
But yeah. So what songs would you guys listen to on loop?
I have a good one, actually. It's a Uriah Heep song. It's called July Morning. It's like a 10 or 11-minute song, and it's, like, really fucking cool. And what's cool about it is that because it's 10 minutes and it has, like, so many segments to it that, like, you'll never get bored of it. So you can play that thing, like, 6 times in a row, and you'll listen to it for, like, about an hour, and you won't get bored.
Alright, that works. Because then, everyone's happy in that case.
Yeah.
A song that I would listen to on loop would be another Travis Scott song from another album, Rodeo. It's 90210. That's a really good song. It's perfect blend of kind of this eerie, kind of depressing tone, and then it switches to this kind of upbeat, kind of motivational kind of thing. It's pretty good. What song do you listen to, Meatman? On
Yeah.
Jimmy Neutron song.
The Jimmy Neutron song.
You should listen to Blitzkrieg Bop from the Jimmy Neutron soundtrack over
God,
and over again.
What else do they have in that movie? Because I had
Kids in America.
what was your favorite Gaius' Jimmy Neutron video game?
What the fuck?
Does the Nicktoons racing game count?
Yeah, I guess that counts. I had like 2 Jimmy Neutron games. I had the one on the Game Boy, and then I had the one on the PC, where like you're in Retroville, you're in it. It's like it's real or something. And I was stuck on like the first level for so long.
I guess I'll go with Attack of the Toy Bots on the DS, because it's
Wasn't
like
there a Wii version though?
There was. I just never had it. I got like the DS version because it had Zim on it, and it was like he was exclusive to the DS version.
Oh fuck yeah, Zim!
Speaking of which, I'm looking forward to that new fucking Zim movie coming out. Same thing with Static Cling for Rocco.
I'm more excited for Rocco, but I'm still really excited for Zim. But just Rocco and just in general, I love that shit.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because everything is like old SpongeBob. Because Hillenburg was involved.
Totally.
Joe Murray was involved.
Lots of artists too from Rocco went over to SpongeBob. It's basically like Rocco season 4 basically feels like a SpongeBob season in a way, because like Hillenburg was the one to direct that season, I think, like over and over and over again. And it's really fun. Rocco's always like a fun show to watch. Like I think like it holds up like a lot better than a lot of other like older Nicktoons to me.
Hillenburg, God bless his soul.
Yeah, seriously. Speaking of which, out of all fucking things, I mean, like, not to be, like, disrespectful, like, at all, because I fucking love Steven Hillenburg, but, like, the thing that kind of rung as news to me, and this is, like, pre-Super Bowl, like, when we're recording this, is, they have fucking Maroon 5 playing at the Super Bowl, and they keep teasing the fact that they're gonna do a tribute to Hillenburg, and that they might do Sweet Victory.
Is it gonna be Maroon 5 that's gonna perform that song?
I really hope that, like, it's not gonna be strictly just them, but it seems that way. I really wish they could have gotten, like, David Glenn Isley and Bob Kulick to make guest appearances and play the song instead.
I don't want Adam Levine to sing Sweet Sweet Victory.
I know!
Oh, dude, that's not gonna be fun.
That's gonna be really weird. I mean, like, one of the storyboard artists himself, or whatever, I forget what position he is, but, like, guy on Twitter, really awesome guy, by the way, Adam Poloian, I think that's his name. I could be getting it wrong, and if so, I apologize, but he tweeted about that specifically over his Twitter, and that would be really friggin' surreal if they just played Sweet Victory literally at the Super Bowl featuring Maroon 5. I mean, it couldn't get a hair metal band to play it, unfortunately. So, you're gonna leave it up to, like, one of the worst bands in existence to play it for the fucking Super Bowl for real. I was just like, alright, fine.
What would have been good if they had, like, if Nickelodeon helped out and they had like a hologram of like SpongeBob and everybody else performing there.
Hey, it's me, SpongeBob. I'm real.
That would have actually been funny if they had like a hologram of like that entire Bubble Bowl performance and just perform it on the Super Bowl. Like, don't change it or anything either.
It's like the you guys know XXX Tentacion, right? That one
Oh,
artist
yeah.
that was shot.
XXX Tentacle, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tentacle. There was a
Squidward
hologram
tentacles.
that was shown off of him performing at a concert. It was so epic. They did it with Tupac. They did it with
did it,
Biggie.
like, why
They did it
Tupac?
with X.
Why Tupac?
Because they gotta respect the image.
Is it because like they got the rights to use Tupac?
Probably.
That has to be like the only reason. There's like no
Hologram
reason
of
to
X,
actually
so
do
weird
that.
to see.
Oh my gosh.
Just all these holograms of like Michael Jackson. There's
There's one of
Oh.
Ronnie James Dio, which like
oh yeah.
which I'm sure that like some people that used to be a part of Dio's band are not happy about, by the way.
I'm just reminded of that one Michael Jackson song where he's like really anti-Semitic.
Oh my gosh.
But you know that song? It was like sue me, Jew me, kike me. That's a real song, by the way.
Hold on, let me get it. It's on my my playlist.
It's your playlist. Yo, they don't care about us. Is that song? It's so epic. Michael Jackson. That's the reason why they killed Michael Jackson, because they red pilled everybody.
Fuck Sony. He was okay. He was basically fucked over by Sony because like multiple reasons actually, but he was fucked over by them.
That's true.
Mainly for the Elvis and Beatles catalogs that he had when he was still alive. And they wanted to treat him like he was a fucking dead man rather than like a really alive person and shit at the time, which is fucking stupid. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy what these fucking companies do, man. Hey, what else? Should we go to some questions, or we got anything else before that?
I don't know. Have you guys actually watched any TV shows from this year? Because I'm not thinking of any.
I watched.
I can think of like one or two.
I mean, all I've been watching was The Office and just some random history documentary series.
From this year. That's from the other years.
The other years, but still, I've been watching a lot of The Office.
All right. I mean, I watched two cartoons that were premiered over Netflix. One of them I thought was really good, and the other I thought was kind of eh. The one I thought was really good was Hilda. Probably one of my new favorite cartoons of the 2010s. Really good art style for the books, actually, that I picked up one of the books, the graphic novels, really good art in them. I'm a fan of Luke Pearson's stuff now. And show was really charming and really well done. I liked it a lot. The other one that I thought was kind of that, like, again, like, a lot of people seemed to, like, really fall in love and freak out about the show was Agretsuko, and I'm just gonna say I was not a fan of Agretsuko, like,
I
at
watched
all.
that first episode and it was like, yeah, it's alright, but it's like not something that, you know, I'm not trying to be rude to the staff that created it. I'm sure they worked hard on it, but it was just not something that I was like interested in.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to the people or like whoever liked it. I'm just saying it's not my thing. I thought like I watched it all the way through, and I just thought like really unsatisfied when it was like over with.
Yeah, I felt kind of weird watching it. Like, what is wrong with me? Why am I watching this?
Hey, what the fuck?
I just felt weird watching it. I don't know what it was.
Like a vibe that was given off by the show somehow.
Yeah.
Shit, what the fuck? This is pretty weird, huh?
It's just, I mean, the best way I can describe the show was that it just wasn't my thing. I don't know what else to say about it, really, though.
I mean, I only watched like one episode, but the whole thing where it's like she gets angry and like, you know, it's not something to write home about. Anyways, let's go on to questions, brothers.
Hey, hello, gamers. Let's go to questions.
Alright, so basically, if you want to ask a question, come on our Discord server, or if you don't want to do that, just tweet the @SnoopCast, the hashtag @SnoopCast, and follow our Twitter for more updates if you want some cool stuff. And also, give us some reviews on iTunes and Spotify and Google Play. Anyways, alright, what's the most heated arguments that you guys have ever had? I think that would be the Star Wars one from earlier this podcast.
Cool Dude has probably helped me get into more arguments than I probably would have enjoyed, but that's okay. I have no feelings, no hard feelings on the guy, so it's like whatever.
Well, me and him are just a bit of an announcement. Me and him are gonna do a kind of like a collab channel. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Oh, really?
I'm
cool.
not releasing what it's gonna be, but it's kind of like a side project from the YouTube thing. All right, Mrmeatman, what's the most heated argument you've ever had?
Ever?
Yeah.
Okay, so my stupid whore mom, stupid dumb woman, she said I wasn't allowed to have like soda after dark. All right, and you know what? I screamed at her. I yelled at her. I said heck you, and then I drank some anyways. And wouldn't you know it, I couldn't get to sleep that night. I was too wound up. I was too energetic. You know me.
Why is my pee yellow?
Why is my pee? What the heck?
I was watching a lot of Eric Andre and just got reminded of that.
But I don't know. Oh, by the way, recent news, Otter Media really just went and deleted Machinima, Happy Hour, Respawn, Realm, Prime, Inside Gaming, etc. Everything. Jesus H. Christ, what a massive kick in the dick to everyone that ever contributed to those brands. Let's see how long ago this tweet came out. Yeah, 9 minutes ago. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Not very happy about that.
Fuck, I mean, like, I guess a lot of people are out of a job right now then.
I mean, if they were employed by Machinima and stuff, how much money were they really making, though?
Fair enough.
You know what? It's actually really interesting. Like, a very long time ago, people used to hardcore, like, try and, like, not monopolize, but monetize, like, an entire industry of being online. Like, Machinima was something where you could actually get a lot of money, like, doing stuff there. And that, but then it's because eventually everyone else also learns about YouTube, and they realize, I can also make the YouTube stuff, and I can also get big on YouTube. I can do this and that. It's like when it first started coming out, it was like a private thing, like a collective small thing that no one else knew about. And so, like, especially big companies, they couldn't make money, but now you can. And now that everyone wants to make money, the collective revenue goes down the more and more people are involved, because everyone wants to make money. And if everyone wants to make money, then the entire percentage of a whatever goes down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm not partnered with any network, because that shit is like just take it into perspective. It's like you give half of your earnings, like, no, it's not like half, it's like something big, like a huge like percentage, and then they have like ownership over your videos and shit like that. I'm like, that's not a risk that I'm willing to take.
Well, yeah, it's way less. I don't know why people like really want to do YouTube as a career. I believe YouTube is like one of the greatest like entry things, like something to do like while you're not employed, while you're still while you're learning everything, because it's such a good like means of like like if you ever want to do like go into media, if you ever want to go into like films or TV shows or whatever, or so,
you can start on YouTube. It's an easy platform to get started on.
It's
you can learn a lot of stuff.
It's your resume, or no, it's your you can use it as a portfolio.
So, how about another question, by the way? This one's from Afro Ninja. What is your favorite unique-looking animated film? Two that I watched not too long ago. One of them that I watched not too long ago, which I really loved, was the work print version of Thief and the Cobbler, Recobbled Cut, with all the original animation being reinserted and restored.
Yeah, that was the version that was meant to be like for the original, right? It wasn't like the butchered version that came before.
Yeah, it's not that butchered fucking like Miramax shit, but like really good actually. I think like as far as like a unique animated looking movie, that's definitely like really high up there. Another one that I actually really liked was that was you could say is pretty unique looking that I watched not too long ago also was Yellow Submarine. The Beatles.
Oh, I love that style. That's such a good style.
Really good style. I'll tell you a story, actually. One of my new, since I ended up moving over the summer, there's a person that lives, like, right next door to our house that I got to meet his whole, den of, like, old music and stuff like that. Kid you not, he has a cell of Yellow Submarine up in his room, I believe, and I thought that was the coolest thing I ever probably saw from somebody's personal animation collection, was just a cell of Yellow Submarine alongside all of his vinyls and whatever else he had. Big music fan, big Beatles fan. Really cool, yeah. I love the movie, too, now. So, yeah.
Just the whole style of it, he's just so creative, and I actually want more to see that kind of stuff. I remember Zemeckis wanted to make a remake of that, but then his fucking studio crashed and burned and died. And
oh, wasn't it that like motion cap film or something?
Yeah, the mocap shit.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that didn't happen.
Fucking dies. I'm glad that shit never came out, because that would have been horrible. Like, imagine like Polar Express or Mars Needs Moms, but with like the Beatles.
So my gosh, that would have been horrible. Well, here's the thing with Yellow Submarine that's interesting, is that 4 people were probably responsible for the direction of the animation and stuff, and just in general, because or 3, actually, my mistake. Robert Balser, George Dunning, and Jack Stokes, and a few of these people actually worked on a few other movies that I saw recently, one of them being Heavy Metal, which did some animation in that movie, and it also connects, I believe, like some of those people also connected with Ralph Bakshi and I think the Beatles cartoon too. I'm not sure if that's really like 100% accurate, but like I know that like there were some people that worked on the 60s Beatles cartoon that also worked on the Yellow Submarine movie, even though the styles for both were like really different from each other. Really great movie though, great art style, a lot of talent put into it for essentially like what looked like a really low budget looking movie. It has like this great visual flair to it that like I think is like really, really well done. If you're really looking for a weird ass trippy experience of a movie that just happens to have great Beatles songs in it, yeah, sure.
So we got a question from Bio Boyo. Yeah, it's we're actually going back to this whole YouTube thing. It was I don't know how much conversation will be devoted to the monkey shit. Opinions on current YouTube.
Oh god.
I think YouTube's doing pretty good. I don't see any problems.
YouTube is a fucking joke.
Well, wait, hold on. What's the joke? The marketing or the actual development side?
People like content creators getting fucked over constantly. I mean, like
who?
Mumkey being one of them.
No, he wasn't fucked up. All right. So somebody who says like who swear. All right, he wasn't ever trying to get himself like fixed in that situation. Right, all he did, situation. I think if you're gonna make a video and then say like this stupid bitch got me banned, even though she didn't have anything to do with it, and no to all this stuff. If you're gonna do something like that, I don't see how you're really trying to like help the situation in your case. And besides, like, I don't think one person represents an entire like company. I think the entire situation is being exaggerated. I think it's an exaggerated situation.
That still doesn't like fix the fact that like that like YouTube as a site is, in my opinion, like the media that they share on it is a pretty broken system. Because
what do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Okay, if someone can upload a video, say, I believe, if I'm trying to remember correctly, of like, it wasn't that fucking video from last year that was what's his face in the Japanese forest,
That video.
Logan Paul, but like.
That,
I don't see, like, I think, like, from what I've seen in the past that, like, there's, like, a huge, like, kind of, like, thing going on where, like, YouTube doesn't know what the fuck hateful content really is and what should be even taken down, because, like...
What do you mean by that? You're not...
If, like, okay, that, I think there's, like, a double standard... I think there's, like, a double standard, like, going on with, like, their, like, you know, the way that, like...
kind of like nepotism.
There's, like, the way people, like, you know, some people upload videos and, like, some can stay up and then, like, others, for, frankly, not doing anything really that wrong, get taken down and, like...
What is an example of that?
This is where my mind goes blank. Which is unfortunate, but, like, I know that I've fucking seen it.
If I have not seen that. I've seen, you know what? I've seen a lot of YouTube being extremely fair with what they do. I've only ever, on my channel, I've only ever gotten one copyright, or not copyright, one strike. And that was, like, within the first year of me making videos. And then after that, nothing. But I have gotten videos taken down, and and it's because they've crossed, like, community guidelines or whatever. Like, it'd be like, oh, this is too offensive, this is too whatever, like, you can't do that, you can't upload that. Every single time, I've never gotten a copyright, or, not a copyright strike, a community strike. I've just gotten that video, either it was, made, like, it was, what's the word where it's, like, adult? Like, you have to be a certain age to watch it? Restricted to that. Or it's been taken down, because it violated whatever they believe to think that it was too, like offensive or whatever. But I wouldn't get a strike for that, because I wasn't going after people. I'd be, like, offensive, but I'd be broad with it also. Where in terms of, you can't prosecute, or you can't, like, say that I'm harassing anyone. I'm not harassing anyone in particular, and honestly, I don't harass anyone, I think. Or I don't mean to harass if it comes across that way ever. But I think it's... Okay. I got... Yeah. Alright, so the one that got taken down and that I got a strike for, that was my video on assigned mail. That one got taken down, and I know it's specifically because I talked about a particular person, and then, like, because, you know, it's the stuff where it's like, if you find it offensive, which I wasn't being, but if it can be interpreted as you're being offensive, or you're calling someone out, and you're specifically calling one person out, and they take it as being offensive or whatever, you know, like, the people are like, don't criticize me, or whatever the heck. Since I was talking about one specific person, that got taken down with a strike, because they could say, this is harassment towards one person. And I wasn't being harassing, I was criticizing the art, but again, this is like someone who, if you criticize them, then you say it's harassment. But then I had a video later on, remember the racism cast? Remember that, Bruce? Or the second episode of that, I named blacks and people, and that got taken down for a good reason. But, however, I didn't get a strike for that, because I wasn't talking about a particular black man. I just said blacks and people. See, there's a difference in that, and that's one example. I also got another video. What was my other video that got taken? But yeah, that's my example. Actually,
you know what? I'll provide an example back. I'll provide an example back because something rung in my head. Two things, actually. I've seen, like, videos that were actually, like, I'm not necessarily saying rant videos, but like just like discussion topic videos that some people that have gotten like warnings or flags or something like that from like them being like posted on Twitter. One of them being a guy called Razorfist, actually, which very much enjoy his videos. I think some of his longer videos in particular are like really well done and well executed. And I believe one of his videos that was on a topic from last year about like a video game or something like that got striked for whatever reason for inappropriate content, even though there was like a little bit of an interesting thing going on with around that. And yet I can look up videos of literally cats getting run over in the street, and yet that's still not offensive or harmful or honestly degenerate to post. Because they think it's funny.
Was his video going after someone? Because I think people misinterpret what constitutes as against community guidelines. Now, like, all right. So what did he
I don't
post?
believe
What
so.
was his video? Yes,
I don't believe he went.
Yes, no. Yes, there is. But what did he post? Oh wait, you don't believe he posted anything offensive?
I don't believe he posted anything offensive going after somebody. No.
Okay. Well, I don't even.
And
what did he even talk about? Videos can get taken down for... See, I think people assume that if something is wrong... They think that YouTube thinks that if something is raunchy or bad, that it gets taken down, which isn't really the case. Like, because you see, like, Alright, so you know documentaries about animals. Like, you see a lion documentary, and then there's, like, a part where, like, the lion is eating, like, the gazelle or whatever. Should that be taken down?
No, because there's a certain context that's being shown. Yeah. It's educational.
That's educational, but I'm saying, like, what if, like, somebody's, like, uploading, like a video of just, like, you know, a cat getting, like, run over or something like that in the street for, like, whatever reason other than, like, the context is that they would find it, like, you know, like, they're just uploading it or just either because they'd want to, or they would, like, find it, like, it's just like, oh, haha, look at this cat getting run over like a fucking sicko. And I've seen that before on YouTube, too. What does that constitute as? And should that be taken down?
Yeah, it should. Well, I mean, if it's against YouTube's, I don't know. I'm the first thing that comes up when I looked up cat gets run over is, like, a pit bull is killing a stray cat. The thing about it though is that it's sped up, like, cause I mean obviously, like, there's a lot of things where, like, you can't catch on to everything. Oh god, he's kicking the dog. No, I see your point. Animal killing, I think, I don't think they crack down on it because it's like, I don't know actually. It's just something. Like. I think that, like, the big thing is they're gonna crack down more on, like, when there's harassment or when there's, like, when somebody's speaking, when there's a representative or something, like in terms of, like, not as, like, a choice of this thing is bad and this thing is good, or this thing is good and this thing is bad, but as, like, in terms of, like, prioritization. And I'm not, like, defending them on that. I'm just saying that's probably what happens.
There probably is, like, a sort of kind of deeper meaning behind this, because, you know, YouTube is kind of like, it is a private company, they can have whatever they want, but it's like they had to rely on the kind of context. They can't just paint everything with a brush.
Yeah.
Even it's hard because, you know, I think like 100 hours of content is uploaded to YouTube every single second, so I mean they are in a bit of a dilemma with that because you know, with the constant fear advertisers leaving and stuff like that, it's very difficult for a lot of these employees for YouTube to deal with.
One other thing I'd like to just point out that, like, I think is, like, fucking, it's funny, but it's also bullshit at the same time, because any amount of, like, review series that can, like, get taken down due to false copyright and whatever, and yet there's, like, this whole streaming thing going on with YouTube now, especially where I will look on the front page, and there is a 24-7 stream going on of the fucking Loud House or something with, like, people role-playing as the characters in chat rooms. I'm not making this up. I've seen this. I have seen this. They do the same thing with the Fairly Odd Parents, too, for God knows what reason. And, like, how does that not get taken down? They're 24-hour streams, yeah, but it's just, they're literally showing the episodes on YouTube as if it's nothing.
How many people work as, like the people who take content down? How many people do that?
I don't think they have the numbers, but it's probably pretty high, like probably in the hundreds or maybe thousands. It's probably like more than that. I don't know, because they don't exactly publish those kind of numbers about people who review that kind of stuff, but I'd say it's around like the thousands, because it's not just the YouTube headquarters in LA. I think there's one in New York. There's Paris, Berlin, Istanbul. There's all these different countries that have YouTube headquarters that probably have representatives there, taking down videos and dictating what comes and what comes down. It's not just the employees in the LA or the San Bruno area. There's probably just like a lot more in these different countries, like in Europe and Asia. Anyways, let's get on to this next question. Do you ever just have that moment where your legs fall asleep while you shit and it hurts to try to stand up?
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
Well, it doesn't happen when I shit, but it's just like when I'm sitting down, like I'll while I'm just like regularly sitting down in a chair, like I'll have my legs like folded like a weird way, and when I there's like the pins and needles it just hurt.
Pins and needles fucking sucks.
It sucks, man. Especially when I'm in like a class, when I'm in my classes and I do that, because when I try to stand up, it's like like why did I do that?
Yeah.
It's like the only thing that makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah. Honest to God story, actually, I remember. This isn't really pins and needles or anything, but I remember all the way back in 2nd grade, this only happened once, but I got a Charlie horse walking to school.
Charlie horse? What the fuck is that?
It's when you're okay, it happened to my right leg, I think. I think it was my right leg. I could not stand up properly. It was, like, stiff. I could not move my leg. Like, at all. Like, the joint, like, right where, like, my leg is, like, between, like, my knee and stuff, I think it was frozen. I couldn't move it. And it was fucking scary, because I had to actually still get to school, and there I fucking was down, like, the middle of a hallway trying to get to the class, hopping on one foot, because I could literally just not move my other leg. And then, like, it just wouldn't go away for, like, hours on end. It felt, like, really embarrassing, actually. But
how embarrassing.
Yeah, it was weird. That was like I believe it's called a Charlie horse, I think. That's what I've known it as for, like, all my life. But yeah, I mean, like, that, it was really fucking weird. That
reminds me of something that happened last year. It's really funny.
What?
So I jumped from my bed and I have a bunch of stuff laying around my bed, and when I jumped down, my right foot went on a Kermit the Frog, like, what is it, like a puppet thing? It's like a like plushy puppet.
Dude,
and it's where my foot landed where the fucking voice box was. So I fractured my right leg. And I was like, oh, I gotta do something. So I was like, oh, whatever. I'll just walk on it. And I never went to the hospital. But I just walked on it for like 3 or 4 months, and it just went away. But I tell you, man, like it did not help my relationship with Kermit at all.
Oh my god.
That's why I hate Krogs now.
Fucking Krogs.
Fuck Krogs. Fucking Krog fractured my foot. That bastard.
Fuck that. Oh,
yeah, there's a lot of shit happening with Machinima right now as we speak.
I told you before. They got deleted.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But I'm just seeing like all this shit on my Twitter,
funny.
and
that is not funny.
All right, next question. Dave asked a question. Where do you feel modern mainstream cartoons are failing?
Well, I already have a few answers there, but if you guys have any other answers, you can go ahead and do it.
I don't watch many cartoons now. It's not something that I'm like interested in as much as I used to be. It's all like YouTube and history shit, like
That's
history documentary series.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair enough.
what's the last cartoon that I've actually watched? I think it was like more oral or something.
It was Rick and Morty, bro.
Right, the Rick and Morty, the big brain.
I got Bookworm. I got it.
I'll answer this one then. Modern mainstream cartoons. I won't point to like literally everything, but because that's unfair, I think. But as far as like the most popular mainstream examples of modern cartoons and where they're failing is that the industry as of right now is a scene of people divided because nobody knows what they really want. Like the audience is like so split right now that like, you know, you could demand of anything and I think people will be one way or another like pretty dissatisfied, which is nuts if you think about it. I think that like another thing that like they're failing at right now is tone and pacing, because specifically cartoons along the lines of, you know, you can point the fucking obvious examples like from Cartoon Network or Disney or something like that was Steven Universe, Starverses, blah 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 blah, and Adult Swim as well. Is that pacing is very important, I believe, but like a lot of cartoons now have either really fast pacing or really slow pacing. There's not really a middle ground, which is unfortunate because I think a lot of these cartoons would be better with more balanced pacing, like not too fast, not too slow. Mighty Magiswords is one that like really suffered with pacing because it was way too fast, and Steven Universe is one because it's way too slow, and tone consistency is another because I think there's like what cartoons as far as writing goes have been really weak with the way that like a lot of cartoons have a really strong first season that's just about like the characters goofing off or doing episodic adventures. And then, like, when stuff develops later on and, like, you know, when things get quote-unquote more interesting, it frankly gets less interesting for me because it just simply shows that the show was not prepared for that kind of shit. So, I think that's, like, one thing that they're, like, that, like, people that are in mainstream cartoon media that are working on those types of cartoons right now are doing incorrectly. As far as like a cartoon that's doing it more correctly, though, that actually has a setup and some proper background to it, as I mentioned before, is like one of my favorites now is Hilda in comparison. And I'm just going to say this. If you've got a cartoon that like starts out as goofy and stuff, keep it fucking goofy. There's no problem or harm in that. You don't need deep shit all the time. That's the thing. And as far as art styles, I think I'm not gonna be like the fucking blame Cal Arts type of person, but like, you know, I'm just gonna say that like a lot of cartoons that have very similar looking art styles that have been coming out over the past few years, simply not my thing. I just don't really care for them that way. I think you know, like, I'm not sure what needs to maybe have a resurface or come back, but I would like to see like a more visually appealing and unique style. Maybe something more well constructed with shapes and stuff. I think that would do cartoons visually some good. And as far as any future in broadcasting cartoons at all, fuck TV, go to Netflix. So there you go. That's where all the shit's heading now. Whether good or bad, a lot of, you know, that's where it's heading now. That's where profit is. Fucking Netflix. Just saying. Yeah, so, how about closing questions from Cool Dude? After all the questions, yada yada of 2018, anything you're excited about in 2019? Because I'm frankly not really too sure. Maybe a few movies, and I want to definitely get better at my art. I'm looking forward to, like, just improving my style and, like, whatever else that could come with that, but, as far as anything else, I'm frankly not sure. Unless I have to, like, really look into a few things on the internet saying, hey, this is what's coming out this year. Other than that, I don't know. You guys have any answers?
Just working hard on my classes and just other stuff. Maybe working on more YouTube stuff. I can finally get some projects out.
Sure, I'd love that from seeing that from you again, honestly.
What about you, Mrmeatman?
Yeah, same thing. YouTube, other stuff, lots of variety of stuff. Guys, did you know that Coco in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends was created because of a dying child's dream as they spiraled into desperate insanity after being stranded on an island? This is actually canon.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not lying. Coco from Imaginary Friends was created because a child was dying on an island. How do you feel about that?
Take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
No, take it on the word of the creator. Don't take my word on it. Take it on the creator word.
Do you even know the creator of Foster's?
I legit just read this. I just read this. How would I know them?
Say their name then.
Name is C. McC.
Close enough. Anyways, guys, that was a good episode. So, I am Brucesnoop.
I am Ian. ASF Get Money over Twitter.
I'm Mrmeatman.
And thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Happy New Year.
Woo!